Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video we have a massive guest in Caden McDonald. How are you going, Doss?
Righto mate, great. I'm going really well, pumped to be on the channel. I appreciate you inviting me on and yeah, really keen to get into it.
So in today's video, me and Doss will be going through our favourite players from each AFL team. We'll be going from Adelaide and finishing off with the Western Bulldogs, so going in alphabetical order. Hope you guys enjoy and we'll get straight into it, starting off with the Crows. I'll let you go first with this one, Doss. Who do you reckon favourite player for the Crows?
Well, I'll take the new ball. I'm going to go with my man Rory Sloane. I think he's pretty well liked throughout the league. I think a lot of people get around him. Got to meet him over in Adelaide. And, yeah, he's definitely my favourite player from the Crows. What about yourself? Who'd you go with?
Oh, I've gone with a bit of one that's a bit controversial because some of my mates think that he's not the best bloke, but I've gone with Tex Walker. He's probably one of the best players on their list. Definitely stepped up this season. I didn't really have one to choose from for the Crows. Like, I didn't have many people that that I like or that I watch that often, so I just went with Tex Walker.
I reckon Tex Walker's a great shout. He's in probably career best form at the moment. I think if I had to go a second place, I'd go Ben Keys. I reckon he's flying at the moment, big body midfielder. But no, I reckon Tex will be a great call.
So moving on to Brisbane, I've got two players for this one. I've gone Mitchy Robinson, and you can't go past Daniel Rich as well. Deadly left foot.
Yeah.
Who have you picked for the Lions?
I've actually got two written down as well. I've got Cam Rayner and Zach Bailey.
Oh yeah.
I love Cam Rayner. I reckon he was almost going to have one of those that breakout year, and I think he's got the mould of the Petrarca Dusty Bull, the way he goes about it, and then just the way Zach Bailey goes about it as well. I can't go past him, so I have gone two for the Lions, and yeah, they're my two blokes.
Carlton, I've only got one, and it's really hard to go past Eddie Betts.
Oh, great goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's exciting. Eddie he kicks him from anywhere, anytime, anywhere. So that's a great shout. I've got someone who's slowly playing that small forward role, and I'm loving the way he goes about it. And it's my man Zachy Fisher. Have loved him since he debuted. I loved him in the midfield when he was sort of that outside. Outside midfield role. He's gone forward recently. He kicks snakes for fun with the mullet. So Zachy Fisher is my man from the Blues.
Alright, moving on to the Pies. This one, I used to really like Brody Mychek. He used to be one of my favourite players back in around 2018. But just from last night when I was writing these down, I had to go with Jordan De Goey. Back in 2018 and 19, he was so exciting to watch, especially in the grand final when he shrugged off about 3 players and just snapped it from the pocket. That was crazy good.
Yeah, the De Goat, he is a jet. I hope he gets back to his form. When he looks fit and when he's got that burst, he's unbelievable and he's hard to stop. I've gone with a former D, takes hangers on the regular. I've gone with Jeremy Howe. He's injured at the moment, which is a little bit disappointing. Probably doesn't help the Pies, having players like him out. But yeah, my man Jeremy Howe, he's got to be one of my favourites down to the Pies. Moving
on to the Bombers. If I'm going to be honest, the Bombers are one of my least favourite teams. I really don't like their fans at all, but their plays are all right, and I have to go with Tipungwuti.
Yeah.
Absolute star. Yeah. Ever since he debuted for the Bombers.
Yeah, he is a jet. He's tackling pressure, and the way he goes about it is unreal. Now, this is where I start going a little bit weird. I've got a few iffy names in this list. I don't know. I get around the lesser names sometimes, but I've gone with Harrison Jones. I reckon he's sick. I love the locks. Big key forward. He's on the lighter frame side of things, but he's so exciting. So Jones is my man from the Bombers at the moment.
Yeah. Right, moving on to my beloved Freo Dockers. I have to go with Michael Walters here. He's been an absolute gun. I've loved him. He hasn't really done anything that's screwed up any games or anything for the club. He kicked the point after the siren, and that's when he really started to be my favourite player back in 2019.
Yeah, he's clutch. Mickey Walters. I've gone with Andy Brayshaw. He's a star. He's just becoming one of the best midfielders in the comp. I love watching him go about it. So Andy Brayshaw's my fave from the Dockers.
Moving on to the Cats now. I've gone with, I don't know if you know him, Caden. I've gone with his favourite player, Miers. He's an exciting young gun to watch. Kicking action's a bit off, but he does the job. He does the job. He gets it done.
Yeah, never heard of Grind. I might have to watch him a bit closely in the next few games. Seems like a likely type. But no, I've gone with Charlie Constable, the big Charlie Constable. A big-bodied midfielder. This is another weird one. People would probably go your Selwoods, Dangerfields types, but I like the players coming through. I reckon Geordie Clark would probably be a close second, but Charlie Constable, I'm keen to see him get consistent games because I love him.
Moving on to Gold Coast now, a bit of a newer player, but definitely one of the most loved in the AFL, and I reckon you know who I'm going to pick here, Matt Rowell.
Yeah.
Absolute gun. 2020. He got ruled out, but for the first, I think he played 4 games, and he was, I think, in the top 5 for the Brownlow. I think he was on top of the Brownlow actually at one stage during round 4.
Yeah. Well, imagine if he played that full season. It could have been his
first
to be
season
honest.
Brownlow, I reckon.
That would have been unbelievable. I've gone with Charlie Ballard. I reckon he's one of the most underrated key defenders in the comp, and the way he floats across and intercepts and also does a bit of a shutdown role as well. I reckon Charlie Ballard's a little bit underrated, goes unnoticed, but not by me, Charlie. So I've got my eyes on you, and that's why you're one of my faves at the Suns.
Moving on to the GWS Giants, and once again I reckon this is going to be the most controversial name of them all, Toby Green. He's a bit dirty on the field. He's been very dirty before, but you can't go past how good of a player he is on the field.
Oh, yeah. If you had Toby Green on your team, you would love him. He's that sort of loyal bloke who gives 110%, plays on the line, if not over the line at times, but I'm a big fan of Toby Green as well. I've gone with Nick Haynes down in the back line.
Yeah.
Sort of that Charlie Ballard type. But the big blonde locks, I love Nick Haynes from the Giants.
Moving on to the Hawks. Now, the player I have picked for the Hawks used to be one of my favourite players, even including maybe around the top 3, even including all the Freo players that I could have picked in there. But Chad Wingard, back at Port Adelaide, he used to be an absolute star. I used to love him. At Hawthorn, I reckon I've dropped off a bit on how much I've liked him, but he's still a gun, still my favourite for the Hawks.
Yeah, when he gets going, he is just absolutely brilliant. Well, I've gone for a young player. I seem to get around the young players for some reason. I just love that the excitement and the potential behind a player, rather than I think when players make it, that's when I sort of get a new favourite player from the sides. But I've gone with Mitch Lewis from the Hawks.
Yeah.
Big key forward, can clunk a mark. I think he's going to be so exciting in the future. Him and Kaczynski down in the forward line for the Hawks, I think is really, really exciting. So I've gone big Mitchy Lou as my favourite player.
Alright, moving on to the Ds. I'll let you go here. Seems though it's the team that you barrack for, and I reckon we could have pretty similar or the same answer here.
Yeah, I reckon we might as well. It's a raffle. It could have been any man and their dog. I would say honourable mentions to Clayton Oliver and Christian Petrarca. They're 2 of my favourites, and I absolutely love them, but it's so hard to go past Cozzy Pickett at the moment. He's just so exciting. He jumps on people's heads, he decks people, and he snags goals. So I've gone with the great Cozzy Pickett for my favourite.
I've gone with the exact same call as you. Absolute gun. Can't wait to see what he brings for the Ds in the future. Still undefeated, the Ds. Must be pretty happy with that. Moving on to the Kangaroos, and going through the Kangaroos list this season. Last night, I didn't have many players, but I've gone with the Bull, Cam Zurhaar. I reckon, he's one of the best on the list and my favourite player.
He's one of Cookson's favourite players as well, Cam Zurhaar. I would not want to grab the footy if he was around me. He would just put me 6 rows back. His roommate and one of his best mates at the club is my favourite player. I love Big Suvalaki, Big Nick Larkey. He is enormous. Cookson and I went down to North's training and got to chat to some of the players, and we were chatting to Nick Larkey, and he was absolutely massive. And he doesn't look that big on the ground, but I think he would be 200 centimetres plus. He's going to be one of their best key forwards, obviously, but I have high hopes for Nick Larkey in the future. I think he could be one of the more consistent key forwards in the game.
Port Adelaide. You've got a lot of guns from Port Adelaide, but I've gone with Charlie Dixon. Last year he was in amazing form, but my favourite player for the Power.
Yeah, he's a star. He's a star. He's scary when he's up and running as well. I've gone with mine and Cookson's man, Zachy Butters. Absolutely love him. It's crazy. Like, he was so good when he debuted in 2019, but then last year he was in the All-Australian squad, I reckon. He has come on very, very quickly. So, yeah, Zachy Butters is my fave from the pair.
Moving on to Richmond, I don't know with this one. I've gone with Shy Bolton, very young player, and I reckon he's got a lot to bring for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's a great call. He's so exciting. He almost takes one-handed hangers. I've gone with a bit of a dog sort of play, a bit of a in and under, rough and rowdy bloke. I've gone for Liam Baker. I love the way he goes about it. Bakes. He was playing forward line on the weekend, which was a bit interesting. He's usually off the back line, but yeah, Liam Baker, he's sick.
Moving on to the Saints, I've gone with Maxi King. There's a lot of other players that I could have gone with.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Him and his brother are unbelievable. I've gone with Jack Steele. I love seeing when that new wave of like future champions come through, and to see him and Petrarca have breakout years last year was really, really cool, because it's like, oh, these are the next wave of exciting midfielders.
Sydney, look, Buddy Franklin, hard to go past him.
Yeah, the big bud one. Unfortunately for myself, he's back this week against the D's, so I'll get to see him in the flesh on Saturday night.
Yep.
I've gone with Isaac Heaney. I love the way the big Heaney man goes about it. Once again, the blonde locks, it's hard to go past, but yeah, Isaac Heaney's my favourite from the Swannies.
Moving on to the Eagles, I've gone with Nick Nat, absolute gun, legend on making their mark. He looks like an absolute, like a really good bloke, so I had to go with him.
Yeah, he was awesome in that documentary. He's so funny. But Oscar Allen is my favourite to watch. He's got great hands. Ever since he debuted, his hands have been so strong.
And moving on to the last one, the Doggies, and I have here, he's got the hair, he's got the skill, he's got the talent, he's got everything. Bailey Smith.
Well, look, I've got a different bloke. I've written down Basilenka. So, similar build, similar hair. No, obviously, great call. Bailey Smith, he's unbelievable.
Alright, so there we have it. There's the video done. We've gone through all 18 AFL teams. But before we get into the outro, Dos, thank you so much for coming on the channel.
No worries, Ryder. Look, it's been a long time coming, but I really appreciate you getting me on, and keen to do this again another time.
So thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. Also, subscribe to Dos if you haven't already. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.